Hello all from a sunny Glasgow. It's Wednesday PM. It's Brian here at Jolly Media Marketing. We're one of the UK's leading renewables marketing experts. We are currently driving from a 21 degrees Glasgow to a 29 degrees Leicester. And we're doing that to conduct a solar video shoot. One of our new clients that's joined us just a couple of weeks ago. Really excited for this one. A fantastic installer, conducting hundreds and hundreds of domestic installs every single year, getting big in the commercial space now as well. We're doing some filming tomorrow at a 200 panel commercial job that they've recently completed, so excited to be filming that. And then they've teed up 4 or 5 really cracking large-scale domestic installs for us to do some filming at as well. Here with Guy, you can't quite see him at the minute. Here he is, a videographer. This is Guy's first shoot that he'll be leading for Jolly Media Marketing. I'm ultimately here for the jolly, no pun intended, to keep Guy right on his first couple of shoots before he's let loose into the wild. So I'm excited for it. The weather is amazing. It feels good to finally be on a shoot where it's not minus 8 degrees or absolutely pissing rain. So I'm just going to make a telephone call to somebody who inquired about our renewables market services through good old LinkedIn. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, try and get myself a wee post or two every single day. It's a good lead flow channel for us. I had an inquiry a couple of days ago, so I'm just going to give this fella a ring, see what his situation is and see if we're set up to help him.
Hello.
Hi mate, it's Brian here for Jolly Media Marketing from LinkedIn.
Oh, hi Brian. How are you, mate? You okay?
I'm good mate, and you?
Yeah, not too bad. How's the journey going, lad? You got your aircon on?
I have indeed mate. Is that a Scouse accent I hear?
It is, yes. We both might struggle here.
Aye. Nah, we'll be fine mate. I've came attuned to the Scouse accent over the last week while, so I have. So I'll slow myself down so that there's no problems at our end with you understanding me. So
I'll try and keep up, mate.
Aye, no worries. So listen, tell me a bit about your current situation. Just give me a bit of a download on what you've been up to, how the business is doing, and why you think we could potentially help.
Yeah, so we were playing with Eco. Obviously, that went to shit from November. Basically, we had some scraps between November and March. We've tried to pivot into this able to pay market, but it's massively saturated at the moment.
Yeah.
Luckily, we've got a social housing contract that we're currently working on, which is for boiler swaps. So now we just want to push on the able to pay, and we can't seem to find the sweet spot. We can't seem to find the momentum that we'd like. We've got great lads, we've got great branding. The job that we do, without sounding too big-headed, is outstanding. You'll see it from our socials. We feel like we've got all of the pieces there, but we're just missing this drive of sales in.
Right.
And it's getting really tight our side, to be honest with you, mate. And companies like yourselves, you see what you're doing, and it looks brilliant, but there's always been that anxiety for us because we've been burnt in the past by marketing companies who promised us the world and not delivered. And it's been on like a retention or it's been on a pay per lead basis, so which has always put us off reaching out to companies like you, which is a shame, I suppose. But since I've seen you put that out about you looking at this, you pay when we get you get paid when we get paid model, that really works for us. It's something that we've asked over marketing companies in the past. You know what LinkedIn is like, and your inbox is just getting hammered by people offering you, we can do this, we can do that, but none of them would do the pay when you get paid, which has become a bit of a red flag for us, because we were like, well, why? Well, why won't they do that? There's potentially better commissions in it for them, and it gives us that bit of doubt when it comes to working with them companies. So seeing you guys, reaching out to people on LinkedIn for the pay when you get paid, then that could be something that would work for us. And I think the bits of content that you make, the pieces to camera, the fact that the ads are really specific to our branding, really gives the personality to the company, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Again, it appeals to me. My business partner's maybe a little bit more old school. He likes a door knocker and a cold call data call centre. But yeah, I'm really intrigued on the content side. I think that's just the way the world's going, personally.
Aye, absolutely, mate. And listen, you don't nowadays anyway. You don't really need to choose between them. You know, you can have your cake and eat it. There's a space for the old school stuff, but there's also naturally a space for the new school stuff that's a bit more leveraged, I guess, and doesn't really essentially pay dads become a bit of a virtual door knocker for you. And are you guys looking to install primarily in the northwest?
So the way we work currently is within sort of 2 hours is a sweet spot for us. So we're happy to travel 2 hours. It's just obviously with the solar, you want to be in and out in a day in an ideal situation. So 2 hours travel, 2 hours there, 2 hours back, especially when the winter months come. It's probably the maximum that we would like. We will travel further for the right price. You know, we'll go basically anywhere to do solar. On the air source side of things, we tend to stay within the 2 hours, and we're quite strict with that. And that's mainly because there's more, not necessarily remedial works, but you'll know yourself with solar. Once it's in and up and commissioned, you're golden unless there's a power cut, and then you might have to reconfigure the app. But with an air source, you know, they get one little error, and rather than sort of looking at the troubleshooting we've given them, they're on the phones here. So, you know, us sitting an air source in Swansea, and then they ring over a flow error, and you spending a day to travel there. It's not ideal. So yeah, solar we will go further afield for the right money. 2 hours of Liverpool. So, you know, that covers Manchester, it covers a little bit of the Midlands, it covers a little bit of the Lakes, North Wales is no issue for us. Anywhere in Cheshire, you know, there's some really affluent areas in Cheshire as well where we believe there's an appetite for solar there, definitely.
All right, well, listen, thanks for that context. That helps a lot. Do you have somebody within the business that would look after the able to pay sales stuff for you? Or is that you or your business partner currently?
So it'd be between us. So what we did a while back, we used to have sales guys, and we basically changed our model where we have engineers going out, but engineers with a little bit of personality, you know, not just tool monkeys, shall we say, but ones that can actually hold the conversation. So at the moment, initial contact and you know, introduction to the company would come from via myself. I've got a bit of a sales background from previous career, so I'd be picking up that side of it, the introduction to the company, finding out exactly, you know, what they want or where they are, what the budget is, all that type of stuff. And then we arrange survey, which is when an engineer goes out. The beauty of that is they can answer the questions, they can be a little bit more tailored to what the customer needs. You know, when they're asking a sales guy, well, you know, I want this cable there and not there, it can stump them. So so that's our process at the moment. It'd be myself picking up the sales side, you know, monitoring the leads, calling the leads if need be, setting up the surveys for the engineers to go out, and then once the quote's formalised, we would then sort of work between myself and the engineer in closing the sale. So me closing the sale outright is no issue. Any technical questions they've got, then we have access to our engineers to answer them.
Right, good, mate. Aye, we've got another fitting partner actually that uses that approach, and it works exceptionally well. I think the target demographic for solar and battery in particular, they prefer a consultant / technical person in their house versus a young hungry sales guy, for obvious reasons.
Couldn't agree more.
All right, mate, nice one. And are you doing anything in the able to pay solar and battery space just now? Can you just not really get it going because you can't get this marketing piece sorted?
So we're doing bits and bobs, right? We've got access to HomeTree. We've got a contact centre generating them, but it's just not getting the traction that we want. You know, our very short-term goal, as quickly as possible, is doing an install a day, 5 a week. That's where we want to go to. That's sort of our first short-term goal that we have in mind. And the way we're going about it now, we just cannot seem to crack it. Now, I don't know whether that's an industry thing. I don't know whether it's just so saturated out there. I don't know whether we're struggling to compete with, you know, Barry and his apprentice who can go out and do it for buttons. We really can't put our finger on it. So we have got some in the pipeline. We've got some really nice projects that we've quoted on, some commercial bits coming up. But yeah, it's not where we want it.
It's definitely not an industry thing, mate. That much I can answer for certain. We in last month alone, our clients did just shy of £2 million worth of solar and battery sales.
Yeah.
And we track all of that through a CRM, which our clients update, not us. So there's plenty out there, mate. It's like most things in business, it's just about having that really effective upfront process nailed between marketing and
Yeah.
sales. The rest of
Yeah.
it just takes care of itself, mate. Right?
Yeah, and do you know what? I think that's why I've reached out to you, because there's three companies, and one thing for me as well, Brian, that I want you to know is we'll always be really open and honest. So there's three companies that I'm seeing all the time on LinkedIn, and that's given us our viewers to say, well, actually, the market is out there. But there is people out there doing it because these guys are putting the figures out there, and these are putting the stories out there. So this is one of the biggest reasons we've wanted to reach out to you.
Yeah.
And then again, like I said before, that model of pay when we get paid sings to us massively, because it takes away the anxiety of us being burnt in the past.
All right. Well, let me focus, I guess, the conversation around the details of that, so that. And listen, I appreciate the transparency, right? I'm Glaswegian. I fucking love just a spade's a spade, right? I prefer to just no fuck about, and that comes to prospecting, service delivery, everything we do, mate. We would rather just call it as we see it and be straight down the line. Yeah. So I'll be straight down the line with you, right? Talk you through the details of that offer. So if you send an inquiry to us, the other two that you've mentioned, typically you've got three commercial considerations to make if we follow the traditional commercial route, right? You've got an upfront management fee or retainer, you've got an ongoing marketing budget, and then you've got a creative fee for producing the content that's required to run the ads, right?
Yeah.
Now, our performance-based model, which we've recently just launched, eliminates one of those three commercial considerations. It eliminates the chunkiest ongoing consideration, right? With our performance-based model, we will wipe that to zero. I guess why we're able to do that, or how we're able to do that, is we then naturally just take a back-end fee on any sales that we're able to help you produce through our marketing funnel, right? Now, there is still some upfront investment required, because you need to pay for us to come to the Northwest and do a solar video shoot. So myself and our videographer are literally in the car at the minute. We're on our way to Leicester to do a solar video shoot with another client that's joined us. When we're there, mate, we're there for the day. We capture some of your installations, we get your customers on camera to capture testimonials. You know the drill, right? You've seen it on LinkedIn, mate. This is what this is our thing. This is what we do, right? But that's one off, right? Once we've got that will typically give us enough content to run your ads for at least 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
And then beyond that, mate, the only thing that you then need to foot the bill for, as it were, is your marketing budget, which is the money that's spent to actually run ads on the platform of choice, which for us is the Meta platform. That can be whatever you want it to be. You know, we've got some that spend £2,000 a month, some are 5, some are 10, some are 20. You can choose what you want your budget to be, but you need to foot the bill for that. We then just manage the ads that's complementary to that budget. And then any and all sales that are produced through that marketing funnel, we would track that by just having really tight communication with you and asking you to update a wee CRM of ours. And we would then ask for anything that you win. Cool. Now, the alternative to that is, like we do for the vast majority of clients at Workways, we can just stick to running a straight up retainer, but it means then that you might still have that upfront kind of anxiety or nervousness about working ways. Now listen, what I would say is, clearly there's still some upfront investment, so that nervousness might still exist. I could try for half an hour and talk you through how we're different and better and have more experience, but the easiest thing for me to offer, mate, is just to offer up for you to speak to 2 of your existing fitting partners. I'll just give you names and numbers. You can give them a phone at your own leisure. You can ask what you need to ask, good, bad, ugly, how's the service, what are the results like, what type of return are they getting. I'll just tee it up with 2 people that I know won't be directly competing with you due to location. And then we
Do
take
you have anyone in our area?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and how are they performing?
Very well.
Okay.
So we had a bit of a hole in the Northwest, mate. And then in January of this year, we started with another fitting partner that are based just outside of Liverpool.
Okay.
We're doing exceptionally well with them, mate. They're still with us to this day, growing and scaling the account out nicely. And that, like, whether you speak to us, again, we all have the same principle when it comes to regionality or exclusivity when it comes to region, which is that we just can't do it, mate. The UK is too small.
Of course.
But every client that we work with, like, so in Scotland, for example, I think we've got like 9 on our books that are all targeting the same areas. Because what we do is we put you on video and everything's all exclusive in terms of any and all leads that come in through your funnel go to you and you alone. It actually doesn't matter if we work with a competitor that's, 50 miles down the road.
Yeah, of course.
Because our job is just to get you in the door and the rest of it's up to you anyway.
Yeah.
So if you take us out the picture, it's not going to change anything. They'll just use another agency and do the same thing with somebody else.
Yeah, no, of course. And with regards to that marketing budget, and it's taking into account our sort of short-term goal of 1 a day, 5 a week.
Yeah.
Where do you think the sweet spot is, monetary-wise?
So the way to work that out, mate, right, is to do some crude math on a key metric called cost per acquisition, right? So the starting point of that is lead cost. So our average lead cost in the month of April was just under 35 quid, right?
Yeah.
Now, the next consideration is, of all of those leads that arrive, how many typically then move to a survey? And for us, that figure in April was 55%. So for every 10 leads that arrived, 5.5 of them, we were progressing to an in-home survey or an opportunity to pitch.
Okay.
And then on average across our portfolio, they were converting 1 in 5 of them, right? Okay. Of those 6. So we started at a 35 quid lead cost. We're converting about 55% of them to a survey. So that means we're paying 70 odd quid, let's call it, for a survey. And then times that by 5, because we need 1 in 5 of them to get a sale. That means that on average, we were acquiring a customer for every £350 of spend in that month. So if you want to be doing 1 of them a day, obviously the operating assumption is that we can make those KPIs stack up and maintain them and hold them strong. If we can, you're then having to spend 350 quid a day to acquire a customer. Now, the average order value across our portfolio in April was just over 12k. So you're paying 350 quid to acquire a 12k customer. Now, we would always be saying, right, if we set out to do that with you on day 1 and we're making a decision around what your budget needs to be, right, you would then be looking at spending 350 quid times 30, which clearly is not a sensible move on day 1. So what we typically say to people is, look, give us 2 or 3 grand, let us show you what we can do with that. You're never tied in beyond 30 days anyway, so if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, you just move on. And then, we get, say, 5, 6, 7 sales, whatever we get for that, and you just pivot in line with what you've experienced in that first month. So if you like it and you've got a huge amount of confidence and you want to scale it, great, give us a wee bit more for the next month. If you want to maintain it because, you need to maybe sort some operational stuff or get another sales guy in, then fine, we can maintain it at the same level. The beauty of this form of marketing, mate, is that once you set the system up, the input that drives how much you get out of it is just budget. So listen, there's still some upfront investment, but we're the only show in town currently that's been brave enough to just wipe a retainer fee for the right fitting partner to zero and back ourselves to perform to the tune of, like, we don't get paid if you don't. So we've got all the right incentive and motivation beyond that initial creative shoot to then just churn out the best possible results for you, mate.
Right, okay,
What's your initial thoughts?
Honestly, I love it. I think it sounds great. Again, full transparency, it's tough our side at the minute. So it's going to be that conversation around that initial investment with the other directors to say, look, this is an option for us. these are the potential results off the back of it. So, yeah, I think me personally, I'm all for it. I feel like we're a good fit. I just need to have that conversation with my business partners and make sure everyone's happy, everyone's on the same page with it. So yeah, I mean,
what I would suggest, mate, right? This conversation's obviously been good to kick the can down the road. If at some point, either on Friday or early next week, I can get you and maybe even your business partners onto a Zoom call for 20 minutes, then what I can do is I can show you some of the example ads so that you can really visualise how we help showcase your brand. I'll just show 2 or 3 of them on the screen, and then I can send you a proposal afterwards that includes a raft of video testimonials for some of the example clients and existing clients that we work with. I can show you a live dashboard, which is where all of our lead cost, survey booking rate, revenue, ROI, etc. exists all in real time. That'll just help pull all together for you. So have a chat with them initially, mate, and this is my number now. Send me a wee WhatsApp if you've got some spare time on Friday, and we can do that.
Friday.
If not, let's look at Monday or Tuesday.
Sound, yeah. I reckon Friday would be good, mate, but I'll get it all sorted. I'll get you the WhatsApp over.
All right, good man.
Nice one, Bryce. Safe journey, mate.
Right, you as well, mate. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So that was pretty typical of the conversations that we're having at the moment with interested fitting partners who want a bit more detail on our newly launched performance-based model. It's something that's entirely new to the market, certainly, within the key players in the renewables marketing game. We've been first to market with this. We're excited by it. We're getting a lot of interest. We, of course, just need to make sure that we're getting into bed with kind of the right fitter and not setting ourselves up to fail in any way. And equally, the fitter, as you probably heard throughout that call, is also just sizing us up to make sure that we have the relevant experience, because there is still an element of upfront investment required for them to make it work. But a good positive conversation, one which we'll follow up on Zoom, as you heard at the end of that call. That'll just enable me an opportunity to showcase some of the visuals, some existing performance, video testimonials, and a live dashboard, which is becoming pretty key when pitching our service to newly and interested prospects. Really excited by the performance-based model. It's something that we gave a lot of consideration to before launching it, but we've been in the game long enough now that we know what fitting partners need to have about them in order to make that work for them, us, and their end customers. So excited to see where it goes. We're only really welcoming maybe a handful of install partners into that offer, and then we will close it down. And there's no bullshit scarcity there, just for obvious reasons. We need to size it up, test it, look at the stats, and just make sure that it's working for everybody involved. If it is, then we'll open the door back up and we'll double that handful up to 10 pretty quickly. So, all in all, a good positive conversation, one of many that I've had since we've launched that offer. That guy, as you heard, is transitioning over for Eco4, so newish to the able to pay space, but I'm finding with these Eco4 companies that if they were able to make Eco4 work, able to pay with a bit of training and help for us is actually a piece of piss. So I'm excited by the prospect of potentially working with them. So hopefully you found that handy today in some way. If you are a renewables installer in the UK and try to piece together that upfront renewables marketing piece like the fella that I just spoke to is, and you need somebody that's got 4 years in the game, delivering 7 figures or multi-7 figures in sales for existing partners in solar and battery every single month, but you're a bit nervous or want to look at potentially eliminating that retainer fee, feel free to drop a comment below. If you like content like this and you found it handy, of course, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back probably next week. We're going to be doing at least one of these videos a week. But subscribe to the channel. It means that any new uploads, you'll receive a wee bell notification whenever they're up there, and I'll see you in the next one.